Hello everyone and welcome to the Patchison podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. It's episode 35 and I'm joined with some pretty fine gentlemen. Oh wait, no, it's you guys this time. Sorry.
Oh, Hamish.
Well, that's a good one.
That hurts.
Dom is with me.
Hey guys, what's going on?
And we've got Hugh.
Hey.
And I'm your host this time, Hamish.
Hamish the host? With the most?
The ham host, yep.
The ham host.
Yep.
Host that looks like a ghost.
How good. I'm the
You
host.
try to say he's transparent?
Yeah, I can see right through him.
Like John Cena, mate. How are we doing? How are you doing, Dom? What's new? What's happening?
Just like, working away, doing the usual, playing some games. Finally got PSN Plus again for a couple of months.
Oh, nice.
Kev was nice enough to be like, oh, do you want to do some game sharing? I went, aye, no problem, man. Oh, he's got so many games actually. That'd be very good. Talking to Angie about games that she liked, and she really liked spooky games, like story-driven games. So I was like, oh, have you played Until Dawn? She's like, no, I've not played that. I'm like, oh, you'll really love that. So I was like, Kev's got that because that was on PSN Plus like a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, click on it. I'm like, why is this not downloading? Kev, why have you not got PSN Plus? Fuck man, can't be bothered getting that again. I went, here, can you get it? So I want to get Until Dawn. Nah, I've got no one to play it with. I'm like, fuck, so I had to go and buy a month subscription just so I can play Until Dawn.
So it has less games than you thought because you don't have any of those PSN Plus games?
No, but he did have like quite a lot of like the arcadey sort of ones that he has bought from the store, but all the ones that I wanted to play are all gold membership ones that he's collected over the years. So, which kind of sucks, so it just shows you though, you have to have that gold subscription just to get access to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played some of that. So it was her first experience. And we were going to do like the pass controller when the character switch. But I was like, I played that game quite a lot. Tried to get all the totem poles and extra endings and that. So I was like, no, let's see how you do for it. And it was like the psychological tests and you sort of fix it, move, like the game changes around for that. So it's all a unique experience for everyone that goes into it.
Yeah.
So it's basically a good David Cage game.
A good David Cage game? What are you trying to say about Heavy Rain? Okay, we know what he's trying to say about Heavy Rain.
I think that's all that needs to be said.
It's not, again, Heavy Rain's one of those types of games that you play once and then that's you done. But with Until Dawn, there at least is a bit of replayability. You can change how the characters would act in a situation, which is great. Like, you could have like the jock character act like a complete coward if you wanted to. You can make him be like just a coward and run away from everything instead of being like a tough guy.
That's Dom. Right. And Dom's sitting there making the jock a coward to try and get back at the bully, and he got his skill. Like this
and then the geeky guy with the glasses was just like, oh man, I'm really good with a gun. And then he's like, yeah, I'm going to be the badass of this story. Well, you do stuff like that, which is interesting because they don't let you. Because like if you play it the other way, you play it straight, you play it like you would in a Hollywood movie. It plays like a Hollywood movie, but if you change it about, it's like, that's a bit interesting. Like one of the first ones that you do is like an ex-couple that are there, but they've got like their new squeezes, and there's like a moment where you can be like, they're meeting up in secret, and one of the lassies goes, oh, what are they talking about? And one of the boyfriend comes over going, oh, what are you looking at? And it comes up with decision, oh, nothing, or hey, you can have a wee look if you want. So you can cause a drama, and Angie's like, oh, you need to have a bit of drama in these games. She went for that. So that does matter because the whole game's all about a butterfly effect and how the littlest things can change everything. So that was it. It's a good experience. Like, I played the game of death, so I love all of it. I don't really want to spoil too much about it in case Angie listens to this because she'd really go into it.
Yeah, I never finished it, but I did enjoy it, and it's one of those games you can actually tell, alright, the things that I'm doing are making a difference. It's not like a Telltale game where you're just like, I can press any button here and the same thing's pretty much going to happen, you know what I mean? Like, it does actually have a lasting effect, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good with the stereo sound as well. 7.1 specially made for it. Like you were talking about like your headphones were like especially made.
Yeah, the PS4's got a settings for it, the Until Dawn settings, and like, oh, who's on my left?
Yeah, it's good for it.
Oh, it's Hamish.
Also, they've got that actor. What's his name again? The guy that
it just said Freddie Mercury. He's in
Rami Malek.
Right? Yeah.
No, I was talking about the guy that does the psychological test, like the narrator guy.
Oh yeah,
he's the Russian guy. He's in John Wick.
John Wick, yeah.
Killed him with the fucking pencil.
That
guy. What's his name again? He's cool anyway.
He's really good at it because he plays like the psychologist, and he's like asking you really strange questions, but it's to create the experience for you because it will show you pictures of like what do you hate more or what you feared of more, and then it'll like put like drawn pictures, and later on in the game it shows you like certain characters and be like, I like them but I don't like them, and then they'll put them in characters like, who do you like more than the two people that you said you liked, and it'll go on from that. And the game will sort of move around like the stats for them. It's really interesting.
We'll try and make it scarier for you by figuring out what you
asking you what you're scared of.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's not as obvious as that really, but you know,
this is a picture of a bear.
It just comes up with a bear mask.
The game just turns into hunting simulator. Bears only.
Bears.
Turns in Jungle Book.
Baloo. I've always wanted to play it because of the scary movie like part of it.
Yeah.
But like, how many times do you like? How long is a playthrough?
From start to finish.
Yeah.
That's usually what a playthrough is.
Like, I mean, like from start to finish, like from one session, I would say, probably about 8-9 hours you could get. So it's like a whole day you could do, because like when I first played it, I think Simon came up with it. It was me, Kev, and him. I think Tam jumped up a wee bit later, and all we did was just pass the controller when the characters came on. And Kev always seemed to get the ditzy blonde.
Right.
And then and then he got the jock one time, and so it came to a point where he was trying to bang himself. And he couldn't do it, and he got so frustrated. I wanted to fuck myself so hard, and we were all looking at him like, Kev, fucking calm down.
Why are you so mad, mate?
I couldn't get my own hoe off myself. I'm like, God damn it, Kev.
You been up to anything else, man?
I have been playing a few other games as well.
Oh wait, I was going to ask actually, have you got PSN Plus or PS Plus, whatever it's called? Have you tried Fall Guys?
Oh yeah,
you played it. We talked about it. Oh yeah, we played it, so we did. So
I haven't played it.
I'm drunk.
Obviously.
No, it was it was really good. That's another reason why I got Kev the PSN Plus game for him, because I'm like, you need to play that game. You really enjoy it, because he likes his Rocket League and he likes his like just nonsense games. But that's been really fun. It's nice to see that's getting a lot of love as well in the Twitter community for it.
Yeah, I think they're releasing like a season 2 trailer and stuff like that, like all the new things that you can get. And
I'm glad, because I've seen that the Portal 2 are getting like characters and stuff like that, like GLaDOS and
Portal 2.
Yeah, Portal 2, like Valve have given them rights so they can have like
fucking Valve, man. I was like, hey, you want Portal 3? Well, what we'll do is we'll put Portal characters in another game for you. You want Half-Life 3? Nah.
Here's Weasley. Just Weasley or Wesley?
Wesley.
Weasley's in Harry Potter, mate.
Ronald Weasley.
What was that, Hugh?
It was one of the characters, Hamish. Do you not know Harry Potter?
Should I be able to identify exactly who that was?
Yeah.
With that flawless impression.
Yeah.
Was that a Haggard?
Haggard. No, it was Snap.
You're always that Harry.
It was Professor Snap.
Professor Snap. Professor Snap.
And Dumbledore.
I was about to say Dumbledore.
That's like the cheap
body.
It's the cheap version you get.
That's the gun version that's been going about. It's pulling out the guns and shooting. Oh. But I've been playing my Xbox as well. They just released Battletoads as well on the Game Pass, and it's fucking awesome.
Well, like Battletoads, the original?
No, it's like a new game, mate. Battletoads, a new Battletoads.
Like a new Battletoads game.
Yeah.
I thought they released Battletoads, so I was like, that's on Rare Replay. Why are you so excited? It's also very hard.
Yeah, it's really fun. Honestly, pretty good reimagining what they've done for it as well. So you start like at the tutorial part, and it's them just like general Battletoads escapades where you just run about beating shit out of people, and then it's suddenly they start flying in the air. And you're like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, I forgot we could fly. And then it just turns out it's been like 20 years since the last Battletoads games, and they've been stuck in a bunker. So it cuts to like the next level. It's like them getting menial jobs. And I was like, we were playing like three of us. It was me, Rory, and Angie playing it. And it was like massaging. One was one part, and then the other character was doing like taxing, like on and hit the computer to get it working. And Rash, like the guy that's been like in Killing Instinct, and he's like the one that wears the sunglasses. Yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, we know about him. He's at like a Comic-Con signing hundreds of photos, but no one's waiting in line for him. They're waiting for like one of the skeletons from Sea of Thieves on the other side. So I was like, that's a pretty good nod to it. And I remember I was like, I think Angela, what's that? I went, Sea of Thieves is another Rare game, so I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So it was nice to be nod to that.
Game. That sounds quite funny.
But yeah, it's like a bit tongue in cheek and all voice acted as well, which is really nice and refreshing for it. And if you're playing by yourself, you can switch between the characters instantly. They do like a wee taunt, and then they
get different abilities then.
Yeah, and it's all we're still figuring it out when we're just playing it, and then comes like the driving game parts and all, and it's wild.
It is a beat 'em up, innit?
Yeah, side-scrolling beat 'em up.
What does it compare to Streets of Rage 4?
I still like Streets of Rage 4, but again, we played a couple hours of it. Went to try to complete it, I think, before I have a proper analysis of it. Yeah, but it is fun with other people. But because again, with Streets of Rage, you're only getting the two, unless they do an update later where you can have more than 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. But music's fun. Like they do. Like the only thing is, which is a bit gutting, when you hit the pause screen, it doesn't do the Battletoads like that. Like it's been parodied forever. So I'm like, maybe they stopped doing that because everyone's been doing it for ages.
Right.
But yeah, also had a wee go of Marvels Avengers beta because it was out.
Oh yeah.
I've got feelings on it. I think this game would have been good if it came out as a launch game for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, because it's suffering from like QTE syndrome, and I was kind of just like lazily playing it, and there was a QTE that happened. I think it was Black Widow was fighting what's his name?
Oh, Taskmaster,
and she was pulling, I think it was like when he was coming with a sword, like he had to hit Y or something and it just stopped.
Oh,
and I was like,
right.
What the fuck, have I broke the game? So I was like what? And it just, nothing, there was no music, and I was like, oh, I'm right, and then I hit Y and it just continued, and it was really, I was like, that was strange. And then I tried it again and it happened again. It was a QTE that you couldn't fail, and I was like,
do you know Black Widow's got time stopping powers, mate? You know.
She's got that world though, mate.
It's that world. Yeah, I was like, oh, that didn't feel good. And
it's
then
a bit pointless having a QTE if you can't fail it.
Yeah, I think the funniest one's always Spider-Man 2. Like, have you seen that like in the movie game? Like when you're trying to save a lassie, it's attached to a bomb in a burning building, and it's like you hit the trigger buttons.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to click trigger, pull forward, grab the lassie, and jump out the window. But he's supposed to fire, and he just falls flat in his face. It zooms on the lassie, going, "We're gonna die," and it blows up and kills them both.
Nice.
Greatest QTE fail ever. I mean, like they show that in like Heavy Rain, for instance. Like if you failed any of the sort of QTEs for that, they affected the game.
Yeah.
Like, like when they're running through like from the guy, they just kept falling out all the place. A fish hits them and you're like, whoa. Pure wacky.
So the game is a beat 'em up sort of, innit?
If you can call it that.
Yeah, it's not got a lot of variety, I've heard.
I'm a bit
2-button beat 'em up.
I was really disappointed in it. But then again, I didn't really have much expectations, so to be disappointed in it, it's like, that's really bad.
Worse,
the level of brand it is now, Avengers, like you're expecting some fucking spectacle of a game.
But what I was expecting, again, as I said, like I was expecting something more up to date than what we got. But then it depends how long this had been in development for.
2017, supposedly it was announced, so
it's worrying that they think that this is like standard. Again, as I said, like something like that with the QTE thing, there was not even like any punishment for messing up. But again, to be fair, it was a tutorial part. It seemed that they were teaching you some things, so I could be like, okay, they don't want people that are just coming into these sort of games fresh, that have never played like a game, and Marvel's like a big appeal to them, and especially with Avengers being like the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah,
a lot of people, maybe this might be their first time playing a video game, so having QTEs would make sense. But at the same time, you've got to kind of have like,
why not just like fail it and then just go back?
Why not
20 seconds? You know what I mean?
Why not do what Hugh was saying? Make it more cinematic and have those moments what they were showing me QTEs, like look a proper cutscene.
Yeah,
and make it look great.
So is it a buy or
for me? No, God no.
From this beta, because the beta's meant to like entice you in.
I thought like it was a really bad Arkham. Like honestly, like the counters didn't even work. I had big issues trying to counter with Hulk, and Hulk's a tank. I was like, how the fuck are you supposed to like Black Widow? You could kind of do like the dodging, that seemed alright, and 4 just basically shocked everybody.
Is it just waves and waves of enemies? Like,
nah, it didn't. There was waves in the Hulk bit, but then it was just more like you were kind of hold on to R trigger to be in rage mode and heal and just hit X a bunch of times.
Yeah, punch people.
Not impressive.
No, God, no. I was like, that was a waste of time. Honestly, it came out with deflated going, I thought it would be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. But again, maybe it's just not for me, and it's a beta.
Here's a question though.
Yeah.
If you hadn't played the beta, were you going to buy it?
No.
You weren't going to buy it anyway?
No. It's not from just like, I didn't like the look of it. It was more, I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me. It didn't look like it was
didn't
like,
grab you?
It was more like,
the trailers were bad.
Yeah, it was more like a story that you've seen, or like you've seen or read before, and I mean, I think it's maybe Avenger fatigue, because we've just had Endgame, and Endgame's still fresh in people's minds, and they know that spoilers for a lot of movies, like 2 of the main heroes of the Avengers aren't going to be in any of them, so to play back with the 2 of them being in it, you're like, this is like, I'm still I'm not over it yet.
It feels like a disconnect
3?
as well,
3.
What do you mean 3? Are you trying to say Widow was important?
Yes. You try to say she wasn't?
She died for nothing.
I know what you mean. Like Avengers Endgame was like a peak. You peaked there, and then with those characters, I don't know if it was a good idea to have those be the main ones in an Avengers game.
Yeah, I think it was a bit rushed for it.
Without the actors, without the actors' likenesses, like you could use.
It would have cost them way too much money though.
Marvel
but they would have
and
made
Square Enix, two of the biggest companies in the world.
I know. I think they probably looked at it and thought, "Is that really necessary?"
But we did not built more hype for it because we've got the actors that are playing these characters reprising their roles one last time for a video game.
They might have also looked at it and been like, "Nah,
it's cheap out.
Yeah,
save that money."
I'd rather a Guardians game anyway.
We did get a Guardians game, remember?
We got the Telltale one,
which is actually good.
Yeah, really?
I liked it.
It's kind of average. The story was very like. See if you could say write your own Guardian story.
Yeah,
like about family.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hamish sitting there, he's like, "Fucking these guys hate Everton."
No, again, it's not much hate. It's more like being disappointed at something that you knew you were going to be disappointed in, but god damn, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, if you go in with low expectations and you're still disappointed, then that's obviously not a good sign.
I think it's more like as well, everything felt like it had been done before. Even to the parts like, see, when you die and it loads up, you know, if you got beaten by a henchman, again, in Batman, they load up and it's like, it was like the heroes all standing there in slow motion and stuff, and you're like, could have done something a wee bit better, or make it load a wee bit faster as well. It was really slow. I don't, again, maybe just be the beta, but everything very clunky and frame rate issues, but...
So, you know. Tony Hawk's is a game we're going to get.
I mean, like, did you get a bit more time in with it?
Yeah, well, I kind of played through like the main story. Then you get to the. Did you get to the ship with the hub basically, and then you can do like the wee training mission as Iron Man and stuff like that. And you can actually look at the world and stuff like that. I did a bit of that, but I didn't play for ages. I probably won't jump on it tonight. It's still on just now, but I've seen enough of it. You know what I mean? It's not a game that I would buy at launch, but I would probably pick up to play the story in the future when it's cheap on sale, which will probably be soon because I don't think it's... Well, I don't know. And on the one hand, it'll do well, but on the other hand, it's not going to be reviewed very well.
I don't think it's going to be reviewed very well. Or if maybe it'll pick up in Season 4, you'll have people going, oh, but Season 4 is really good. Like they had with like Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may, it'll probably come out. It'll sell millions. It'll have its detractors, but it's going to have seasons. It's going to have DLC. It's going to have everything. It's going to be here for a while.
It's going to be a better Anthem, as you were saying. Very like Anthem. You could when I was playing it, I knew what you were getting at with it. Especially with Iron Man, he did feel pretty good when you were playing him. Like
he was fun. Yeah, I did like him.
Do you know that's the thing that I didn't like about Hulk? Everything, even though they were trying to make it seem like it wasn't one sort of way to go for it. It wasn't a straight line. All his parts felt like they were straight lines, and it really bugged me. And it was like, if I went, like, you know, and he didn't Hulk jump. I was like, one of the best things about Hulk is that he can, like, you know, jump over buildings and stuff like that and scream. But he was just like, you know, like that. Come on, Hulk.
Do you know what's weird about this as well? Like, what people think is this game was at first a linear, like, hero-based game. So, like, different levels had different characters. And then something happened, like, a year and a half ago, where they were like, oh, we want this to be a live service. And, like...
Panic
stations. What you've seen, what you are playing is a mutated version of what the linear game was. They've just, like, had to, like, try and make that a live service game.
Do you know, that sounds awfully familiar. That sounds like something that happened with Anthem.
I think Anthem was always meant to be live service, but I think they didn't really give them a lot of...
Oh, there was a whole...
They weren't experienced with it anyway.
There's a whole Destructoid article about it, which is like, you know, goes in depth. They didn't even know the name of it until it revealed it at E3 and all that, and you're like, what the fuck? Who did the fuck? And they had t-shirts and all that printed, and they're like, that's the name of the game? What? But yeah, it's just not for me, I don't think, and I do hope it is successful. I know it will be, and I do hope it's fun. Maybe, if again, as you said, probably if it goes on sale, I'd consider it. But I mean, I'm talking cheap, or it comes free on PSN maybe, or Xbox.
It'll have an Ultimate Edition, or an Ultimatum Edition, or whatever what words they'll use for the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
It'll be the Series X edition.
Yeah, and it'll have like
excluding Spider-Man.
Like it'll have like Miles Morales is in the Xbox One version. You'll be like, cool. Nice. Thanks for that. I like Miles, but like, stop splitting all this up.
I want wearing these Nike shoes, but
I've tried to buy sneaky shoes. I've got like an eBay. Like,
you got a shoe addiction, mate.
I do, but like it's Nike Origin Air Jordan 1s. They're so cool. They've got like this cool wee pattern, like Spider-Man pattern on them. They're like $400 though.
Oh, fuck it.
I mean, I'm at least one drunken night away from ordering them. Like,
yeah.
And then waking up like, Sinead, I'm sorry.
I sold my car for trainers. You're going to have to drive me to work.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not like that.
Oh, yeah.
He'll walk to work, mate. Show off his trainers.
Exactly.
She'll make him walk to work. Apart from that, it was just more of a chilled weekend as well. The missus meeting most people that I know.
I came
most
up.
of them. You came up. Simon was up as well, which was, I hadn't seen him in forever since lockdown as well.
Did you come up, Hamish?
I wasn't invited, mate.
Hugh, why are you doing that?
I wasn't invited, but I did meet her at the.
I did.
When we got food the other day, so.
All the boys are met her, all the Patches boys,
and we all approve.
That was good. Thank you guys. Hopefully she appreciates that, and they're like, we like her more than you now, Dom. So you're off the podcast.
Let's phase Dom out. Yeah.
She's like, everyone keeps saying to me, Dom, really?
Fuck you guys.
What about yourself, Hugh? What you been up to?
I came up here on Friday. We played some games.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hamish. Saturday I was with you, remember? And you came up to my house. I did tell you why. Like, we were hanging out with Rory that night.
Right, hold on. But you also said that we don't have to do that.
Yeah, I said that to you to make you feel better. But like, me and Rory were talking about DragonBall Super Broly, the film. He'd still never seen it. And I said, well, I've got it in Blu-ray if you want to come round and watch it tomorrow night. And he said, yeah, sure, because we had nothing else planned. Hamish decided to tag along.
I didn't decide to tag along. We went to get food, and then you were like, oh, you should come up. And I was like, yeah, what we're going to do? And he's like, oh, well, we were going to watch Broly, but we don't need to do that. It's not like set in stone. And I was like, all right, cool, man, sounds good.
That's lies. Anytime Hugh mentions anything about Dragon Ball, it's always set in stone.
It was set in Dragon Balls. As soon as they came up, I was like, fuck it, I want to watch Broly. And then see when I was put it in, Hamish's face, he was so upset.
But then that's because you've seen it like how many times now? And it's like your favourite movie? It's your favourite movie?
No, it's god awful, mate. And I just want to let everyone know I was like 3 bottles of wine deep at this point, right? So I was obviously showing my emotions a wee bit more than I should have,
Yeah, so he was so stroppy, man.
Oh, really? I thought he was getting really into it. I was like, yeah, Broly.
No, he was a stroppy little bitch, man. Like, you're like walking around like, really? And I was like, yes. Yeah. And then I was like, do you want to go in the spare room and play Xbox? He was like, yes.
In my defence, Dragon Ball's really bad, so.
Oh, that's not a good defence.
I mean, you're a drunken liar. No. No, it was good. Me and Rory watched Super Broly. It was great. Hamish was in the other room the whole time.
He was having a good time.
He was having a great time.
Yeah, I had wine and an Xbox, so yeah.
He was having a good old wine, so he was.
You wanted some cheese with that wine?
Other than that, we did an hour's worth of streaming this week, which is good for us. Cheers. Cheers to that big yawn, Paige. Thanks. You approve of my story.
No, it's because she's wanting to know where we stream, but you're not telling people.
Twitch.tv/patchesingaming.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Good plug.
Twitch.tv/patchesingaming. I was playing UFC 4 career mode, trying to become the middleweight GOAT. I'm struggling. I wasn't.
So you're more like a lamb.
Yeah, I'm the middleweight.
He's not struggling with a fight, and he's struggling to get in the middleweight.
Wow, okay, that's funny.
Luckily, it's virtual. So I was playing it on normal and like knocking people out in the first 10 seconds, like in the first round and stuff like that.
It was fun watching it as well. Just like you suddenly, I'm training, and boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and I was knocking out training partner. I knocked out my training partner like 20 times.
Yeah, well, I was like, that's fucking harsh, man. You're hitting him in the jaw, knocking him out clean out. That's what you're supposed to do with partners.
Hugh, you can't train with him again if you do that. And he's like, I don't care.
I don't like this.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, and then I think it was Hamish who put in going hard mode, and I was like,
I think me and one of our followers, and I think Dom said it as well. I think we all said it at the exact same time.
Go hard or go home.
Yeah.
So like I put it up to hard mode after a bit of like
peer pressure.
First training session, the guy I've been knocking out smashes me. Like I think he gave me a concussion. He broke a rib. Like, and I didn't even finish my training. Like I was like, what the fuck?
It's payback, mate.
Yeah. Like so, this happened for the 4 or 5 week training camp. Every time I'd do the sparring or whatever, my guy would get beaten, and I was like, oh no, like this is meant to be like the bit that's easy.
Yeah.
So I was fighting a guy called Paulo Costa, which is like the second best guy in his division, and I was like, right, okay, I can do this, right?
You sounded so confident there.
He threw 2 punches. First one broke my eye socket. The next one broke my ribs and my guy just lay on his back, and I was like, "Hey, get up, get up!" I got KO'd. I got KO'd 7 times in a row. Thank God for that restart button. I eventually knocked him out by just running straight at him and swinging wild until we were both exhausted and he went down first. Yeah. But I don't want to play the game like that.
Yeah.
That's annoying. So I'm trying to figure out how to play it better.
Yeah.
Like, the only way you're going to get better at the game is if you keep playing someone who has better tactics.
Yeah.
And it's just so difficult because you want to be undefeated during this like career.
Yeah.
Because you want to be GOAT, you want to make the most money. Like, if you lose, you go down the rankings and stuff. You lose titles.
You need to climb back.
But you do need to play other players that are better than you, or will help you like carry you and stuff like that as well, or like, you know, show you some things. Again, quick example of that, but I put on Modern Warfare just to be like, 'cause you guys know, you've seen me stream Modern Warfare with you guys. I am terrible. I am
you
fucking
hold the team up at the bottom of the table.
Exactly. I'm there. I'm the GOAT at the bottom.
You're like
you're there to make everyone
50.
else feel a lot better about their performance.
So Angie was wanting to be go of it. She hadn't played in ages, so she was like, okay, how do we go? Kill like a few people. Oh, that was fun. He's like, you have a go? And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking terrible at this. I was like, fuck, alright, okay. Just don't fucking laugh at me how bad I am. I was going top of the table, fucking 32 kills, like 2 deaths. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, I thought you said you were bad at this. I'm like, I am.
Mate, it's whenever there's a girl watching or a girlfriend, it's like just this thing that men do. They just dig deep inside this place they never knew. I remember back in high school, secondary school, whatever. I'm so Americanized.
American.
We were playing like basketball, and then for some reason the whole of the girls' PE class came in. Like the other hall was getting work done to it or something like that. And the last year that I'd just started going out with was there, and I was like, oh fuck's sake. And I turned into like Michael Jordan, man. I played like the best game of basketball I've ever played in my life, man. It's just like that. You just deep down you dig, and you're like, I can't get embarrassed in front of a girl that I like.
But I don't know if it was just because like I was playing to my level, because like before, like, I'd be like leveling up quickly because I was playing with you guys that were quite high up, so I was playing against killers. Where this time I was playing guys that are probably at my level, but because I've been playing with you guys, like,
your skills are better.
Yeah, I can quick scope and do that. And then Jason came in and just completely destroyed everyone. So that's how you do it, Dom. Walked away.
I was playing like the original Modern Warfare with Jason, like not the original, the remake of Modern Warfare, like the 2017-16.
Yeah.
And like I hadn't played Call of Duty since Black Ops 2 at this point. Yeah. And like he was like sweeping the map and then like turning over the spawn points. Yeah. And like I was getting shot and like not knowing where it came from, and I was like, I was bottom of the league table and stuff like that, and like I was like, Jason, how you doing this? He's like, skills, mate, skills. Like he had like fucking Nickelback on and his headphones, and he was drinking beers and playing this, and I was like, I need to put some time into this.
It's like it never leaves you, mate. He played that with Kev. Like
he played it a lot back in the day.
He played a lot with that with Kev as well.
Now he hates this Modern Warfare though for some reason. Yeah. Because we've all played this a lot and he hasn't.
But again, it's just like it's the same what would happen with UFC. It's the case of like you just keep
playing and you'll get better.
Yeah.
That's why Ross is pretty good, because he's played it for like 15 days.
Yeah, and he's really good at it, like tactically.
He's not that good.
I think he's.
I mean, he's slightly above us, but with all that time he's putting in, that's why. I mean, if he was about the same time as us, he'd be lower. He'd be a scrub, mate. He'd be in your dom.
You guys are talking some mad shit when he's not here.
Because he's not here, right? and he doesn't listen to this.
He won't listen to this, and Danny won't listen to this because Ross isn't in it.
Oh, I can't wait to clip this.
Have you seen anything, Hugh? You been up to anything else?
I watched DragonBall Super Broly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good night, everybody.
Nanny. No, that was really good. Dragon Ball Super Broly. Hamish.
Fucking okay.
Really, really good.
Hamish, what have you been up to, man?
Right, so I was debating telling this story because it is going to be quite embarrassing.
Oh, here we go, boys.
But it's fine. So obviously, I mean, I need to paint a picture for the listeners here, right?
Okay.
Obviously, they know by listening to us, I'm obviously the smartest on the podcast, you know.
And the handsomest as well. According to you.
Well, I'm getting to that, Tom, right? I'm getting to that, don't worry. I'm also, you know, smartest and the funniest, obviously. I mean, that's just a given, right?
Of course.
They might not realise that I'm the handsomest, you know, but because, you know, you don't see my face.
Thank God.
But see, all of this, Tom, it's not by accident, right? You know, I put some work into this.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah.
you wake up like trash and you go, I've got to make this look like upper trash.
Oh yeah, mate. It's like what's that? Stars in your eyes. You know, I come out like totally different person.
High class trash.
Yeah. So I'm scrolling the Facebook or something like that, and I see an advert.
Sorry, scrolling the Facebook.
Scrolling the Facebook.
I did not say that.
You did.
I did it. Oh, I'm getting older. Right?
Sorry.
Anyway, I see an advert for one of these wee handheld suction things for like cleaning your pores. Have you seen them? It's just like a wee,
on your nose and stuff like that.
And I'm like, you know what? It can't hurt. Why not? It was like a tenner. So ordered that. It arrives. I'm like, right, let's give this a bash. I'm reading the instructions and I'm like, pretty sure I'll figure it out. It's a wee handheld suction thing, and you just hold it to your face.
Yeah.
Right. I don't look at all the different nozzles. I'm just like, the one that's on it looks fine. So I turn it on. Doesn't sound that bad. Just a light hum. And I put this on my nose, right? And it's like an octopus or something like that's got me. It's so fucking strong.
Like that.
And I'm like pulling at it. It's not coming off. I eventually get it off. And I've just got this big red spot right on the end of my nose. It just turned my nose totally red.
Like fucking Rudolph.
I was expecting Santa to ask me to guide his sleigh. It was fucking ridiculous. And I had work the next day.
Oh no.
And I was so I went to bed and I was like, you know what? Overnight, it's got to go away. It's just a wee. It's like a wee hickey on my nose. You know what I mean? And I get up the next day and it's worse. It's just this fucking like beacon on my nose. So I'm like, when was the last time I phoned in sick? I could phone in sick because I'm not walking about in public. Look at this, no fucking way. And then it hit me. I will wear masks in work. No one will see it. So I never took my mask off. Like from even in the house, mask on for the whole day. Got away with it, as you can see now. Back to my handsome self, you know.
I'm just wondering about this suction machine.
Yeah,
and it's meant to just like pull out dirt from your pores and
just
stuff.
Just wash your face.
Yeah, I mean I do that obviously, but
it's sometimes like if your pores are quite big, you need to have something to sort of like clean it out for it.
You should use that. What's that charcoal mask that people use, and then they like peel it off a face and they're like
Yeah, I have tried them. They're not as bad. Like people are definitely acting.
You'll need a lot of charcoal for that head.
just for the forehead itself. I need a whole bottle, and the receding hairline.
Jesus.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. Anyway,
you've not tried that again then? Just to like different nozzle.
No.
Different nozzle.
I've fallen out with it.
You've fallen out with it.
Aye, I'll wait till I've got some time off of work just in case that happens again.
Yeah.
Then I'll revisit it.
Get at Christmas time and then just say, "Oh, I'm just really drunk. Guys."
Aye. What else have I been up to?
Have you been playing anything?
I've been kicking it old school. I've been playing Duke Nukem 3D.
Oh yeah,
the old one. It was like an anniversary
Hail
edition.
to the king, baby.
It was like 25 years or something like that.
Was that here?
That sound like Duke at all?
Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king,
baby.
You wanna dance?
Nice.
You get an achievement for like tipping a stripper and stuff like that, and just a lad.
That's nice stuff.
Yeah.
He does say balls of steel, doesn't he? That's like my
balls of steel.
I'm pretty sure he does it at some point. Yeah.
I had the Nintendo 64 version, and I was so impressed that I could piss in that game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
It does that.
I remember back in the day, and like, you obviously see yourself in the mirror, and I was like, oh my god, that's
you're
amazing.
jumping with your shoulders.
Yeah. And like you turn, and you don't even like slowly turn. You just go from like facing forward to the side. But I was still like, wow, that's amazing.
Duke Nukem was a game we played when we were younger, like multiplayer. Like, because it was a great multiplayer. It had so many guns. Like the freeze gun and like the
minigun.
The
gun, the shrink ray.
Then you stood in them. That was great.
And their voices changed as well.
Duke was great, man.
That was a fun game.
But it's got like all the original levels, and I think it's got extra ones as well.
Yeah, like ones that they didn't finish, and they finished up for that edition. As well.
I didn't really get, like, I've done a lot of like YouTube video watching of Duke Nukem, right?
Yeah.
And see, like, every version of it had like its own stuff. Like the Saturn version had its own stuff because it was like made by a different company.
Yeah.
And like the PlayStation version had its own stuff. The N64 version had its own stuff.
Yeah.
And the PC version had, like, I was like, you wouldn't get that now. Like no one would put that much effort into like porting a game and then making new things for it.
That's true. It's not like you would get a game that's got Spider-Man in it and then a different version that doesn't have Spider-Man.
I think Spider-Man was in it and they just fucking like blocked them in the Xbox version.
I would be very surprised if they do like the old Capcom and have like Spider-Man on the disc and they just don't tell you.
I think that's wild though. Like Spider-Man's the most famous Marvel character.
We've talked about this.
We have talked about this.
We've talked about this.
Do you know what though?
What about, man?
I want to talk about it again.
You know,
No,
when we
too
talk about Duke, mate.
Duke?
But then it's Duke Nukem.
I don't think you'd get Duke Nukem. Like,
You don't get that love.
you
for
wouldn't
the
get
games.
no, you wouldn't get away with it. Like now, making that.
Well, they
kinda-
tried to, and it was like Duke Nukem's aged, and the only reason you still like the original version is because it's like you go back to 1996 when you're playing
Yeah,
it.
it's
But
like
like, if
nostalgia.
a game came out like that today, you'd be like, this is boring. These jokes are old. Like,
Oh, but if it came out today, it'd probably be a more up to date kind of
Duke
jokes.
Nukem
and stuff.
forever, mate.
That was all right. I mean,
That was just delayed hell. That was like the Chinese democracy of video games, where it was like it took so long for it to come out that by the time it came out, everything had been outdated. They made like did not make the cake as a lie joke in it, and you're like, fuck man, Portal was
there was loads of
8 years ago.
It was basically like one of those, like scary movie, or that just basically
References.
is a spoof and it references all
Is
the
that a special Duke
loads
Nukem
and
thing?
loads of things. Yeah,
Actually,
it's kind of like that.
the one thing I did do lately is I've been checking the sales out, because I'm like, all right, okay, we're near the end of this generation. They're going to be starting to discount like a lot of stuff I want to start trying to like get so I can play later.
Yeah.
And like Control, every fucking time it's Control, but like the sales are awful on the Xbox now.
We did say this about like last week when I was saying about the Steam sales. It was very like lackluster. Like you were talking about the Xbox ones that have been a bit funny as well. Like what's it been like for PSN?
Not the best either. Like I was on the PSN summer sale, and
they
it was
had
like
one,
it was alright. Like there was some like, it doesn't help that I've got a lot of the games,
Yeah.
but like the smaller indie titles are still like more expensive than you'd want to pay for. Like
Yeah.
The way I kind of found it was there was nothing there that you would look through and be like, oh, I've not heard of this, but it's cheap, so I'll buy it. It was more like if there was something that you'd been meaning to get and that you were going to get anyway, then obviously you would get it saving a bit of money.
the Crash Collection was on there, and it was like £30 or something like that, and I was like, that's not a sale price.
No.
Come on, Xbox. I think maybe COVID's doing this. Like maybe they need the money. They can't discount things as much as they need to or whatever.
Yeah. They're just trying to like save jobs and stuff.
Yeah,
or-
save jobs.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, sales have been pretty awful. Like I haven't actually bought games in a while, not since Ghost of Tsushima, which is weird. I'm actually trying to sell some games.
Yeah.
I have a pile of like
Hugh, stop trying to force the games on this podcast.
I have a pile of 200 PlayStation 1 games that I do not want. I do, like, it's pure terrible PS1 games that I'll never play, but see when I saw them in the shop I was like, Card Shark? That looks like a great game.
I could totally spin that round and make profit. What do you mean?
No,
I'm
it was
a
that, like,
negative
I was
income?
never in it to make profit. It was always just like,
It was a
I don't
collector
have
thing,
I don't
wasn't
have
it?
this, and I'm trying to get out the collector's thing, because the collector's mindset just
That's a
it
money
just,
pit, man.
yeah, it just your mind is always like keep buying.
You're never going to be satisfied.
You
like-
become a hoarder of like stuff.
Yeah, so like the only things I really want to keep is a lot of N64 stuff. I've kept like a pile of PS1 stuff. It's just all of it's bangers, like it's all hits.
Nothing but the hits, baby.
all killer, no filler.
Yeah, like that's what I kind of want now, because I don't have enough space for filler. And Sinead's like, why have you got Cool Borders 2, 3 and 4? I'm like, Sinead,
Why do you have
little
18,
do you know
Why do you have 18 copies of Glover?
what is wrong with Glover.
Oh, that's it.
Oh wait, Dom, why do you have the English version of Bouncer and the Japanese version of the Bouncer?
Because it was cheap.
Did I tell you a story about the Bouncer?
No, I don't think so.
The Bouncer's a Square Enix game made by
Squaresoft game.
A Squaresoft made by Nomura, the guy that's done like Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts and Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and it's almost like his like it's just fucking out of his brain. It's everything they're wearing is just like spikes and chains and leather belt. It's just what he loves, and it's not a great game. It's kind of like a 3D beat 'em up, and it's only about an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I've got it for the PS2 because it's very cheap. And I played it, and I was like, that's a fun shite game to play.
Yeah.
And we were in Japan, we were in Akihabara at the Retro Game Base, and I was like looking at loads of stuff. I was looking at NES disc systems, like from back in the day, and I was like, oh, can I afford this and stuff? And then Dom's like looking in this bargain bin, and he brings out the Bouncer. He's like, do you want this? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, I'm going to buy it for you. I was like, I don't want it. He's like, I'm going. It's only 50 yen, which is what, 10 pence or
I was
something.
I was too late. I've already bought it for you.
I know, I was like,
mean, why not, really, if it's that cheap?
but I was like, because I don't want it.
It's a souvenir.
It was a gift. It was a gift
I know,
from
it
me
was
to
a
him.
gift.
I was literally buying souvenirs.
But it was a gift from me to you.
I was trying to buy quality
It was a
games.
gift from me to Hugh.
You bought it to
be
annoy me, though. The only reason they bought it
Still a gift, mate. Still a
was
gift.
to because it was like 50 yen. This will annoy him.
He'll have to carry us about and people look in his bag and go, bouncer. Oh,
Do you know it's so annoying?
no
Like,
taste.
I was going through the games I got when I came back because I got loads of Super Famicom games. I think you've all seen them. You've been in my room. And I was like, oh wow, Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, Chrono Trigger, like cool RPGs. And then like at the bottom of this pile was fucking the Bouncer, and I was like, I fucking hate this game.
So proud.
Yeah, no, that's a great day though.
Yeah, it was fun for that. So what else? You been up to, Hamish, man?
I watched that the new Jamie Foxx film, Project Power. On
Oh,
Netflix.
I've been seeing that, like the trailers for that coming up on like YouTube.
Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
Yeah, it's a good cast.
JGL.
Yeah.
It was quite good. I originally thought it was going to be a series, but it's just a movie. So I thought, I'll fire that on.
How long is it? About?
Just under 2 hours or something like that, man. Like,
I love
2
when you
hours.
ask questions like that and then we're not prepared at all.
You want to know the exact number of minutes? Like,
I just saw Hamish's face. He's like, "Fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna have to make this up."
I don't know, regular movie time.
I'm not going to say like what's the exact run hour minutes because you know time is money, mate. I'm just like
you're a busy man, you know. It's worth a watch though. I quite enjoyed it. Some of the fight scenes in it were really cool. You know, kind of generic storyline.
Yeah.
It's like this new drug, this new pill that you can take, and then you get superpowers for 5 minutes.
All right, okay.
But everyone has something different. It's like your DNA, and then they do the whole like, it's because you know animals, they evolve and they get all these kind of abilities and stuff like that. It's just tapping into that unused DNA and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, it's not how it works, but it's a movie about superheroes, so I'm not gonna.
I just want to interject.
What?
It was 114 minutes long.
Oh, good to know, mate.
Thanks,
I mean, I did say just under 2 hours, so that's pretty bang on.
Very close.
Yeah.
No, it's really good though. It's
Worth a watch?
I'd say it's worth a watch if you like action stuff. It's quite funny in parts as well. If you like a superhero thing, but like you were saying with the Avengers game, a lot of superhero fatigue. You know what I mean?
Casey Neistat's in this film.
Yeah, for a very brief part, plays a dick in it.
That's
An actual
a stretch for a minute. I actually don't hate Casey Neistat. I used to watch him a lot on YouTube, like because he does a lot of interesting, like he did like a lot of vlogs.
Yeah,
and some of his vlogs were pretty interesting.
The only place I've ever seen him before was going around to yours and you were watching him.
And I think it was just the kind of outlet of watching someone who's living quite a cool life. But like, the more I watched him, I was like, this guy, not a lot going on there. Like, and there probably is because he's very rich and famous and stuff. But like, it just screamed fake. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I definitely get that vibe from him. Quite up himself as well. Like, I don't know, I don't watch him, but that's just the vibe that I get.
And Tate Fletcher is in this film as Wallace. Hamish, do you know who Tate Fletcher is?
Yeah, big Fletch, mate.
He appeared on season 3 of The Ultimate Fighter, coached by Tito Ortiz against
Your
Ken Shamrock.
favourite UFC fighter?
I fucking hate Tito Ortiz.
I'm wearing a Tito Ortiz t-shirt.
I know. Like, both my favourite fighters in the 2000s were Ken Shamrock, obviously, because Ken was the man, and Chuck Liddell, because he then became the man. And
he was a boy and then became a man.
So you like men, is what I'm hearing. Like.
Yeah, like,
nothing wrong with
so
that.
I don't like you. But anyway, they both hate Tito Ortiz, and I kind of hated them anyway, because I hated Tito.
Most people hated Tito because he was Tito. Like,
it was really
it
was just off.
Tito.
Tom, this is actually a really good story for podcast. Do you remember we were playing Halo 3?
Yes,
That was at the height of my Halo 3 powers, Hamish. Like I was owning, I was poning, as the kids were saying at the time.
Getting at least 4 kills.
Oh no! And this
after 12 days.
Like it was the height of the we were watching Chuck Liddell fight all the time, and like all the time we were watching him fight.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm really curious how you're gonna get from Halo to Chuck Liddell here.
there was a guy called Tito. Like there was a gamer tag that was like Tito, and I was like, Tom, there's a guy called Tito, and like I got the Ghost. Is the Ghost the one that flies along the ground?
Yeah, that's Ghost.
Like, and I just kept running him over and running him over and running him over and killing him and chasing him and killing him and chasing him, and like I think I killed him 25 times.
That guy must have been ridiculous. Like, why me?
I know.
Did he not send you a message going like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck, man"?
Like I can't remember. But I just remember like being like, I really fucked that guy up. Like,
Halo
for no reason.
I know.
That was back in the trash talking days, really, wasn't it? Like, you don't get it so much these days because people get, I don't know if it's like they're afraid they're going to get reported and banned or something like that, but it just doesn't seem so prevalent.
Back in the teabagging days, Hamish. Remember the old teabag?
The old teabag.
The old teabag move.
The old Arabian goggles, as they call it.
I like Halo 3, but see if you go back now and try and play it, and you're running across a giant map with one speed. You're like just like dump, 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 doop. That's the speed of your feet. Doop,
Yeah.
doop.
Oh, right, okay. This is for the listeners that couldn't figure that out.
There's like there's no long range weaponry except the sniper rifle. You're like shooting, you're like, I don't know if any of these bullets will land in.
Yeah. Remember you could ricochet with them? It was awesome. You'd hit that at a right angle and you just shoot wildly and you'd hit someone around the corner and you're like, yes, I meant that.
We were talking about Griffball the other night.
Yeah.
How good was Griffball?
That was fun, yeah.
We were talking about how that's like a prototype for Rocket League.
Yeah, I suppose, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't act all enthusiastic, Hamish. I
loved it when you grabbed it and your speed was just like ridiculous and you could jump.
I used to do the jump, like the tactics where like the people below you would just keep hammering away and you'd just jump over everybody. Good times. All playing it around a 22-inch portable.
That's the thing as well. Like you used to get four people on a wee tiny TV, and you had no problem with it at all. But now it's like 50, 60-inch televisions, and you're like, split screen. I don't know about that, man.
I don't know, guys.
I need my whole screen, you know.
So you're blaming like, I can't see there's tiny little pixels in the corner.
It's like totally photorealistic fucking world. It's like, nah, it's halved, mate. It's basically nothing. I can't see it.
What's the point? What's the point?
But yeah, another reason why I wanted to watch that Project Power was obviously there's quite a lot of buzz about superheroes these days because as the DC Fandom thing was on.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of trailers and stuff like that. There's a lot of news coming out of various games and movies and stuff like that.
All from the DC universe.
Yeah, but I'm really quite excited actually. They did well. The things that have been shown, I'm into them.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Snyder Cut on it as well, and like you were saying earlier too, is before the podcast, it was a 4-part event. I'm really sort of launching it.
Releasing it in 4 parts, which is an interesting way of doing it. But
yeah,
I don't see that being any better than Whedon Cut, to be honest.
Well, you don't know. Like, I think the stinger at the end was a lot better than Whedon jokes and kind of like, you know.
No, like Darkseid is a well better villain than Steppenwolf. Like Steppenwolf was awful. As soon as Superman turned up, the wee theme played a wee bit, and Superman just decked him.
Steppenwolf was even terrible in Wonder Woman as well.
Steppenwolf and Wonder Woman.
Was he not the bad guy in Wonder Woman?
No, that was Ares.
God of War, mate.
He was terrible.
No, I quite liked him.
I don't even know, he was kind of similar. Aye.
Yeah,
so that's why I got confused.
It's the big CGI villain that
shoots lightning in the sky.
That doesn't really interact with anything. He's just kind of he doesn't even have a personality. He's just a bad guy. He's just a bad guy.
That's why I got confused.
But Darkseid obviously has the Thanos thing because they are pretty much the same.
Darkseid not got the laser beams that follow.
The laser beams that go in at right angles. Omega. Is it Omega
Ray?
Yeah, Omega Beam. Yeah.
Omega Beam.
That it has like. Have you ever watched the DC cartoon films, like the DC animated universe?
Yeah,
some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucking good. Have you seen the one with Supergirl, Power Girl, Supergirl?
Don't think so. No.
Like they both go back to like Kent residence, the farm, and like she goes to open the door, or he goes to open the door, and Darkseid just punches straight through the door and punches both of them, wrecks everything. And I was like, that's fucking amazing. I couldn't stop laughing because they were like, hey, boom! Sorry, did that come through properly on the podcast?
I think it did, man, and through my ears. Thanks for that.
Sorry.
Yeah, poor listeners.
I don't
know if you guys have ever watched Harley Quinn in the show, but Darkseid was in it. He was actually quite funny in that. Like, not being funny, but just how he doesn't take shit from people. You know, it's quite funny because obviously complete opposite of a character like Harley Quinn who just
a goofball.
Aye, exactly, a goofball. That's the best way to describe it. And he's no nonsense, you know. He's like, just get me Earth.
Yeah, I did like there was a clip that I seen with like they had Scarecrow and Joker and Batman tied up, and there was just like that whole bit where Scarecrow has like a British accent for some reason.
Yeah, they quite like making Scarecrow British sometimes. Like,
yeah,
strange. But I did like the jokes and stuff like that for it as well.
It's actually really funny. I really enjoyed Harley Quinn.
Yeah, because it's like quite full mouthed as well. I was like, I didn't expect that with a lot of swearing in it.
Yeah, it's like the second episode or something like that, and they don't actually say the word. But
I'm gonna have to block that now, Hamish.
No, I say the word beep.
Everyone's gonna wonder what I said.
Exactly. Fuck.
Anyway, I'll see you next Tuesday though.
Hey.
But yeah, what were you excited about, Hugh, with the DC stuff? What stood out to you?
The Batman.
El Batman.
El Batman?
El Batman.
Le Batman.
El Bato.
Le Batman.
That's French for Batman.
Why would it be French for but not Batman? What's bat in French? I don't know.
Bat.
Le Bat?
Le Grill.
Le Grill.
But yeah, what stood out to you the most?
The whole tone of the film was pretty cool. The song they used was really good for the trailer.
Something in the Way by Nirvana.
Yeah, and it was weirdly. It looked like a crime noir film. Like is that what you call it? A film noir, crime noir.
Yeah.
But also took. I think everyone was worried about Robert Pattinson being Batman. They were worried he wasn't going to be physical enough. They were worried he wasn't going to be, like coming in after Batfleck, who was this gigantic Batman, very violent, very like in your face.
Especially because it's just after Batfleck. Ben Affleck was massive.
I literally just said that.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't even.
I know. I honestly.
And that was nearly word verbatim.
I know. Don't even cut that out.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Things are a lot better when I say them, mate.
Well, they took a moment to show you him being very violent in this film, and you're like, okay, I get it. The Twilight guy can punch.
Yeah, I did like that. Was someone quickly edited the moment where Homer ran over and beat up like the hamburger rip-off from The Simpsons, where the kids are screaming stop, he's already dead. They cut that up after he was beaten up because he goes down and you see him like what happened. It's like, stop, he's already dead.
That seemed a wee bit over the top. Like, I like when they show Batman as violent as he actually is,
but he didn't say that his name was Batman.
No, he's
which
Vengeance.
was nice.
Batman doesn't
Mr.
kill anyone;
Vengeance.
he just leaves them paraplegic.
Yeah, make sure they don't work again. Then they got to rob more to save for the
the guy was already out. You know what I mean? It's like you're just wasting your time now. Like,
I think you should show him dominance.
He's vengeance.
He's vengeance. Yeah.
Like, I really don't want to see his parents die in this film. Like, I've seen Batman's parents die so many times. Like, just we know how it happened.
Yeah. Just do it like the new Spider-Man films.
Yeah, just
no need
mention it. Like, remember what happened to them? Aye, we do.
Mind Uncle Ben or
I
don't think they even mention him really.
Nah, probably not. Actually,
no, I don't think that.
Or if they do, it'll be like, oh, your uncle said this one time. No, like, all right, okay, cool.
They did it kind of in the Spider-Verse where they just had like a quick clip and walking into the light, and then that was it. And then people jokingly quoting it to Peter Parker. That's the only like other one that's came out since then. But I've seen him die too many times.
Yeah, so
but we all know what happens to Batman's parents.
The new suit looks really cool as well.
Yeah,
see the it looks like the Dark Knight suit. Mm-hmm. The Frank Miller suit.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
It looks like that because all the straight lines and the cowl.
Yeah,
kind of looks like that. I was thinking of the word for his mask.
I noticed you struggling there.
What do you think of Penguin?
I think you only see a very brief flash, but see if it wasn't announced that it was Colin Farrell, you would have no idea that was him. But it must be a lot of prosthetics and stuff like that.
Yeah, can't wait to see how he plays it. If he's going to be like Cobblepot, like gangster, or is he going to just be like goofy? But I don't think it would in this kind of. It
really depends. The tone seems a bit dark, so it'd probably be like DeVito Penguin ish, maybe a wee bit darker rather than like Robin Lord Taylor in Gotham TV show, you know what I mean, like kind of eccentric in that. Like I think it'll be darker, but
I did like the black and red, and it kind of reminded me of the animated series logo. See what they had like with the Batman silhouette with the red background. I was like, that looked awesome. It looked definitely like a graphic novel.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I think you put a picture of it in our chat the other day, and I was like, "Is this for the movie? Is this because it does look like a graphic novel cover or something?"
I really like Pattinson in this though. Like I know, like people give him shit, but like after Twilight, he actually went out and he did some good films. I didn't watch any of them, but like
I've heard good things.
I've heard good things. Yeah. Actually, no, maybe I haven't. There's one on Netflix I keep going to watch. And it's like two brothers that rob something, and one of them gets arrested for it, and like people keep saying, "Watch that, that's really good." And then I get to it, I'm like, "I'll save that for a special night," and it
another time.
It keeps skipping it.
I mean, I don't have any problem with him. Obviously, wasn't a massive fan of the Twilight movies. Just not my kind of thing. But that doesn't. I hate when people are like, "Oh no, he's gonna suck at that," or "She's gonna suck at that." It's like, you don't know that. You can't see the future.
Yeah.
But remember, that's what happened with
Heath Ledger.
With the Joker.
It's happened so many
Michael
times.
Keaton.
Yep, Michael Keaton.
In the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, he'll never be Batman. And then they went wild with it, and it was like, oh, George Clooney, and you're like, what?
With his bat card or whatever it was called.
Bat credit card. Never leave
the house without it.
Yeah.
Never leave the cave without it.
Okay, Batman.
So what did you think of, like, did you see anything with the Flash then? Because it was only, again, it was kind of like stills for it.
Too quick, mate. I didn't. I missed it.
Nice. But they're sort of saying that that's how they're going to open up the DC multiverse was with Flash.
Is it Flashpoint they're doing?
I don't think it's Flashpoint, but they have like a still image of Barry with Michael Keaton's Batman in the back, and with the music from it, so everyone's like,
that's not. I think Rory explained this to me because he obviously read up on it more than me. That's not Michael Keaton as Michael Keaton Batman. He's not Bruce Wayne. He's Thomas Wayne. That's Bruce's father. Have you ever seen? You ever read Flashpoint?
Yeah, so it is Flashpoint.
Yeah, what gets me in Flashpoint is, are they going to have Aquaman and Wonder Woman fight to the death?
That'd be awesome. That's such a good concept. What they did with that.
I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest.
I don't think it'll happen either. Like, because Wonder Woman kills Hera as well, like chops her head off and stuff like that. So
they'll take bits from Flashpoint and stuff like that. But
and then like Superman's basically been captured and like away from the sun.
Yeah, like he was kept underground and he was a bit crazy alien.
Yeah,
I think Aquaman and Wonder Woman
got together.
Are they together? No, they're secretly together. And then like,
Hugh, don't tell the world on the podcast.
And then Hera finds out, and that's how like the Flashpoint war starts.
Yeah,
that's a good film.
It's a great
I know
film.
I just spoiled all of it.
You didn't spoil all of it.
I don't think that they're not going to follow it to a T. You know what I mean?
No, they won't.
It'll be interesting to see, and I'm glad that Ben Affleck's back as Batman in it.
Yeah,
and he's like the older Batman apparently he's kind of tutoring Barry.
Yeah. But then again, like that's the artwork, just so you can see it.
That's really cool.
So that's why it's like it looks
look at this. Like, check this out.
It's just because it does look like Michael Keaton Batman. That's why a lot of people are saying this, and you can see the actual symbol as well as the black and yellow Michael Keaton one. So that's, I don't know.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Get copyright strike, mate.
Oh no, man,
that was so accurate.
Holy shit!
When I was playing UFC 4 on Twitch, and like I wasn't saying it, while like all of these fucking copyright songs are going on, I'm like, this is gonna get muted so quickly. Like my entrance song was Godzilla by Eminem and everything. I was like, this is muted. There's no point in me saying anything.
You should just rap over it, mate, and they won't catch it. You know.
I might be as bad as Eminem in that song.
Damn.
What else? The Suicide Squad. What do we think of that?
Yeah, looks like fun.
Which, the game or
the
movie?
Movie? Let's talk about the movie.
We're talking movies. We're talking about the movies.
The movie looks fun. Everyone's gonna die.
I mean, it's kind of confusing because you've got. I think it's meant to be a soft reboot, but you've got returning characters. You've got Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Joel Kinnaman, Rick Flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Amanda Waller's back. They were going to bring some people back. Like, they were going to try and get Will Smith back, but I don't think he wanted to. So Idris Elba was meant to be him. But then they were like, oh no, in case Will Smith does want to come back in future, you can play a different character. It's just, I don't really know the continuity of it. I think they're just totally disregarding that, but the previous film.
But the thing is, it's crazy. If they're doing that, they're actually disregarding an Oscar-winning movie.
Oh, fuck off.
I mean, but I'm not.
What Oscar did it win?
It won the best costumes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good
so
point,
I mean,
good point, Dom. Well done.
I'm sorry, but then I don't think they can do that. So from what I've heard, it is they're going to try to play it off like it was a crazy hallucination and all that, and it was in Harley's heat, and it's going to be like Jared Leto. He never existed, and if they want to bring in Hugh's favourite Joker,
Mark Hamill.
Oh man, imagine Mark Hamill.
See if they actually brought Mark Hamill in as Joker, like live action. Yeah, everyone else can retire.
That would be amazing, man. But I mean, he retired a couple of times.
Yeah,
playing the Joker.
So
but
did Kevin Conroy retires playing Batman, and then the cunt was actually Batman in the crossover, like Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I don't want to be Batman, as he's suiting up. Like,
did you like the wee video that it showed of like someone behind the scenes of Suicide Squad?
Yeah, that was quite interesting. It made it look. A lot of times, especially before I've seen a film, I don't like seeing the behind the scenes stuff because it kind of detracts from the experience of watching it. But it was actually quite fun to see it. It looks like they're all having a good time making it. You know what I mean? And
because I remember when you seen the shots of like the Suicide Squad, it was all. So it had so many problems, and there was always a lot of reshoots, and you can see it in the movie when the reshots happened. Because like I thought Margot Robbie like changed her accent of Harley Quinn. Do you know? I'm like, that sounds a bit strange. And then the costumes they looked a wee bit different. I'm like that must have been a reshoot there, and then obviously everyone knew about the Guardians effect.
It looked like cut and spliced together, Yeah,
and then the Guardians effect, where they were just basically licensed music for the first 10 minutes of this movie, and then never again. You didn't hear anything like that. That's why everyone likes Guardians, right? It was the first 10 minutes.
No, the problem with the Suicide Squad was the editing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the editing. They got 3 teams to edit it. It was like a movie team, like a TV show team, and like a music video team.
Yeah.
And then they went, oh, do you know what? We'll just mix all these edits together, and then it turned into a big, almost like a music video.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense.
No,
it was all over the place.
Yeah, like sometimes you've just got to go.
Have someone's vision.
We'll stick with it. We'll stick with that guy. That guy knows what he's talking about. We'll stick with his vision.
Yep.
Even if you're like, I'm not sure about it, just stick with it because it's better than having a mixed up where everyone's confused.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are excited with the Zack Snyder edition. That's why they're like, at least now it's focused. Then any criticism will make sense because it's all focused on one person.
Yeah.
So easier than going, oh, but it's by committee. The committee ruined it. Yeah, but that's business, baby.
What about the game?
The games?
The game's it?
Suicide Squad game.
That looks
Kill the Justice
fun.
League.
Looks fun.
Can I have my moan about DC
please.
games?
Hugh wants to moan about something.
Why is the good guys always the bad guys?
What do you mean?
Because it's like, obviously you see Brainiac, so Brainiac's got into the mind of Superman, cool. And he's...
But Injustice 1 and 2...
but that's based on an alternate reality where...
Yeah, but like, DC has all of the best villains. And they're like, oh cool, we'll make these games. Who's the bad guys? Oh, Superman. And you're like...
But then,
why?
like, you got to remember that a lot
Just
of people...
give me my Superman game, Rocksteady.
But you got to remember that people may have never seen a bad Superman. Like, you've read the comics, you've got the tattoos, Hugh. I mean, you sleep with your Superman jammies. We all know that.
How do you know?
I know, I watched you.
No, like...
What's wrong with fighting Superman?
It's not that it's just about fighting Superman. It's like...
Yeah, I know.
It's like, why is it always bad? Why are we always fighting bad Superman? That seems to be like the go-to move for any of these like companies. Like, oh, we'll fight bad Superman because bad Superman's like, oh, shocking. You're like, we've just had Injustice 1 and 2.
Yep.
Superman, and then The Boys come out, which has pretty much got a bad Superman in it. Like, but there's a ton of bad villains, and that's what they made me. There's a ton of villains in the DC universe that are super interesting because of their story. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you've got to take down the Justice League.
But I think it's more because it's a shock value for, like, you know, how are the Suicide Squad going to fight fucking Superman?
Yeah.
I know. I think I'm just annoyed because there's not a good Justice League game and there's not a good Superman game.
Yeah, there's not.
It's like, why don't you make me those?
Yeah,
please?
make them first before the
Rocksteady.
But like, I kind of like the concept that they're trying to go for. Again, we won't know until 2022 when it's released. So Rocksteady can take their time. They don't want anything rushed out like Arkham Knight.
You didn't really see much because it was obviously just a pre-rendered cutscene trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Samoa Joe the Shark.
Samoa Joe the Shark, my boy. Fair asses.
No, do you know, I'm just moaning because we're getting a Suicide Squad game before a Superman game. I'm just raging.
It's popular just now.
Is it?
The kids love it.
Yeah. Suicide Squad was a failure, a flop, a big fat flop. Hamish,
are you talking about like the money it made?
Did it not make bank?
If you were going to make a film, it's going to make.
But
if you're going to make a game about the most popular character, Superman is the most popular. He'll make more money than Suicide Squad.
But that's why he's in the Suicide Squad game. That's why you're fighting Superman.
Yeah. No. If you made just a Superman game, that would make more money than any Suicide Squad property ever.
But Harley Quinn's so hot right now.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name a good film she's in.
Birds of Prey.
That's a bad film.
I liked it.
Birds of Lay.
Like, I know Harley Quinn's this generation's Joker.
Are you sure not the Joaquin Phoenix Joker's this generation's Joker?
I know what you mean. She's like the kind of go-to.
It's like the popular mainstream character.
She's the most dressed Halloween character. You could say that. And
it's like everybody wanted to be fucking Heath Ledger 10 years ago. Now everybody wants to be fucking Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
no,
about any of this, but I'm just like I'm just saying, like, these characters are like the what do you call that? The flavour of the month right now. These are the flavour of the month characters.
They're so hot right now.
Yeah.
But
that's like, I'm just moaning.
So who would you have them fight?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I don't read Suicide Squad, so I don't know their back. I don't know their enemies.
Yeah,
but
they can write it any way they want.
Why are we getting a Suicide Squad game anyway?
Because it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea.
How?
Because you get a cast of different, unique but interesting characters.
Misfits.
Yeah. So you've got
that's not even unique to Suicide Squad.
We don't know a lot about the game, but is it going to be like a multiplayer? Because imagine having like 4 people. You can pick a different member of the Suicide Squad.
I think
I'd rather be the shark guy than Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic, by the way.
King Shark, not the shark guy. God's sake.
Well, Hamish, do you know what? He's the fucking shark guy to me.
He's King Shark, mate.
Did you know that before this?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. So I don't fucking read.
End of conversation.
I don't read. The only DC characters I really read are Green Lantern, Justice League, which is Superman, Batman,
Right,
Teen
but
Titans.
If you've got this whole host of DC villains or good guys, who would you have the Suicide Squad fight?
I'm not a DC expert. I don't know.
I'd think it would be interesting if it was Brainiac that is the main antagonist for it, because like
Brainiac's always controlling people.
yeah, so
That's
that
his
makes
thing.
sense why he's controlling Supes.
Let him fight fucking Bizarro or something,
Bizarre.
That's basically just like fighting Superman.
but not because he's not Superman.
maybe like against Luthor. That would be an interesting one for it.
Yeah,
Luthor
a smart bad guy.
but the problem is with like Luthor, it would be the same problem you would have like with a lot. Like it's like fighting an evil Tony Stark. He would just throw robots at you, and then you're fighting generic robots all the time, and you're like, I want
Darkseid.
something for it.
Make him fight Darkseid.
Like aliens.
Steppenwolf.
I think having Brainiac's a good idea because he can control people. So it's not just going to be Superman that you fight. You're going to fight a host of.
Maybe
heroes.
It's like making a Guardians of the Galaxy game, and then you're fighting Thor or Iron Man.
Right.
You're like, well,
But maybe just because
that?
again it's only just off this one trailer, they could essentially have like Brainiacs controlling villains and that.
The game is called Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
Yeah,
Aye, that might be the end goal, but
yeah.
along the way you're probably going to fight.
Because like he's Brainiac's taking over the Justice League and taking over other heroes, but then doesn't mean that Brainiac's going to be like, I'm not going to take over that villain because
I don't get this big obsession with the Suicide Squad like with DC. Like I don't get
because it did.
I don't get
money.
the love for the property.
It did make money, and it sold a lot of Harley Quinn baseball bats and T-shirts.
Dom, you briefly mentioned another game there, I think. Arkham Knights.
Arkham Knights, yeah, we kind of just rewatched the trailer a bit there, and it's by WB Montreal.
The B team.
Yeah, they did Arkham Origins, which was a bit is the word I would use.
It had a lot of issues.
Isn't the word?
Yeah.
Is a noise.
It had a lot of
has,
issues.
It has a lot of letters as well. But yeah, from the trailer, it looks quite a lot like Arkham Knight, upscaled a bit with multiplayer, which can work, I guess. But again, when was Arkham Knight out? What, 2015, 16?
That was a while ago, yeah.
Games have evolved a bit since then. Arkham Knight was okay. It wasn't Arkham City. It wasn't Asylum. It kept kind of treading with the,
I think people are a bit fatigued by that point with the amount of games that had stolen their fucking structure and the way they do.
WB stole it for like a Lord of the Rings game.
I know. Press Y or triangle to counter.
Yeah.
Press Y to triangle.
Extra hit and then B to stun, A to dodge. It's like, but I do like that combat system, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean though. Like
Y and B to do your finisher and stuff. Yeah.
But it can get a bit tiresome.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, Dom, it does just look like another one of those games. But
it could be fun.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know what I mean? Like especially with the inclusion of multiplayer, I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah,
but
you look like you're playing like the children of Batman.
Yeah.
So good for that. Did you like your Dwayne the Rock Johnson coming in going, here you are, first reveal of Black Adam, and you're like, yeah, let's do this, and then it was still pictures like a fucking Injustice game.
It was like we had no time to film anything, so here's
Rock is too busy being in 20 of the 25 movies that are coming out this year.
The Rock is also just on Instagram constantly lifting weights, drinking tequila, slamming back giant cookies, and then
slagging Kevin Hart.
That is the life, man. I'm sorry, but that's the dream, isn't it?
Buying the XFL as well, like a fucking maniac.
Honestly, what is he not doing?
I don't fucking know.
Do you remember when he was doing Ballers?
Yeah,
right? And you were like,
I like that.
Ballers was pretty good, but then you were like, how do you get time to make Ballers? And then go make Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, which, by the way, should never have been made. Like, I'm just saying. Like, Sinead was like started watching Fast and the Furious, right? Because it was like before 8 came out, and we were like, right, we'll work through these. And we got to like the second one, she was like, I'm not getting this. Like, I'm not getting where the submarine comes in the 7th film. And then like
they got a tank.
And I was like, at some point, someone just went, right, cars can do anything.
Yeah.
Like, cars can do anything.
Well,
these are magic cars.
Yeah, physics just don't apply in those films at all.
There is unlimited amount of gears to fly through. Like, that's like Vin Diesel's fucking black car. How many gears does that have? 18?
As many as it takes.
Like, he just keeps dropping gears, and I'm like, no, that's too many gears you've got.
That's an automatic thing. Hey, leave it alone.
Oh no, like
I mean, you're picking on like the physics of that, but
you're picking on Groot. We've got
there's plenty of films that you could poke
I know.
on that,
it's just Fast and the Furious is the one that's at the top of that pile, and you're like, I loved Expendables and stuff like that because they always seem like one-off that was 3 of them. But like they all seem like fun side stories.
Yeah.
But then like Fast and Furious, like, oh, here's Fast and Furious 10 coming out, and you're like, 10? Are we at 10? Is there 10 of these? Did we need 10? Like
double digits.
Yeah, surely yous all had other films you could do.
Nope. But Wonder Woman trailer as well, 84.
That did look good. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Is she called Tigress?
Cheetah.
Is Tigress the Marvel version of that character?
I honestly thought that it was a cat's person. Like, soon as I was like, what the
Like
fuck is that? I was like,
Crazy Cat Lady, mate.
I was like, oh no, are we getting Cats the movie and are we crossing over here?
Oh no,
we're having that nightmare into it. I was like, oh wait, no, I remember seeing her in like a Justice League animate, like a cartoon show ages ago. I was like, no, she exists.
She's one of Wonder Woman's
like main enemies.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember her name, but
she
like,
tried
I also
flirting.
thought it was Tigress.
She tried flirting with Batman one time, and Batman pure called her out, beat the shit out of her. I was like, good on Batman.
Batman doesn't flirt.
Like, I've already got Catwoman. I don't need another Crazy Cat Lady.
Batman's flirting's like punching.
I know Wonder Woman
I
looks
am
good.
the knight.
You know, I like the first one. I really liked Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It was really good. I'm actually thinking that
it was really watchable. It was the first DC movie I came out going, I could watch that again.
Mm-hmm.
That is like, I've never came out a DC movie, even like the Nolan Batman's coming out going, I could watch that again. Because like when you watch the Nolan movies, you come out going
exhausted.
Fuck,
like,
man.
What the fuck was that? I'm still
Yeah.
trying to think of what was going on in the first half.
You know, like what the fuck? But
why did Bane sound like that?
Oh, Batman.
Hello, Batman.
But with Wonder Woman,
That's not what he sounds like at all.
He sounded like that.
but with Wonder Woman, it was fun, engaging, entertaining. The music was great.
He's
in that movie
buzzwords
as well.
He's reading the back of the Blu-ray box.
He's reading the poster.
And it was 5 stars from the Daily Mail.
Wonder Woman was really good. I enjoyed it.
Again, it had that problem with the end though, where it was always the DC end, where it was like,
Bad guy.
yeah,
But the bad guy just like is.
so,
I can't even remember what Ares looks like in.
that's what I got him.
He does kind of look like
Steppenwolf. That's why I was like, oh, I thought
The
he was
actor-
got,
all the armor and all that. And
The actor that plays him is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was in Harry Potter and stuff like that. I can't remember his name, but like he was
did he
really
play,
good.
Did he play Snap?
No, he
Snapple?
played Lupin.
Lupin?
Lupin, aye, the werewolf. I know
Yeah.
way too much about Harry Potter. I read them all.
But no, this does, like, I have been waiting for this for a while, and obviously with everything going on, this was supposed to be out for the summer,
Yeah.
84, and hopefully they said it was going to be coming out this year, isn't it? It's going to be in
Yeah.
November, I think they're saying.
I've actually booked my first cinema ticket.
Oh,
I'm going to see Tenet on the 28th.
so you're going,
The only film in cinema.
yeah. That's Nolan, isn't it, as well?
Yeah,
That's a
it
Nolan
looks
one,
like
yeah.
Nolan.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in. I'm going to come out knowing less about the film than I did when I went in.
I need to book my ticket, man. I can't wait to go back in this.
When you book now, they book the seats around you.
Yeah.
You've got to wear a mask.
Yep.
But you don't have to when you're eating popcorn.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
It's a wee
okay.
popcorn hole in your mask. Yeah. And for your straw as well.
I think that destroys the integrity of your mask, Hamish.
Nah, that'll be fine. Just plug it with popcorn when you're done, that last wee bit, and then you can just lick it.
So they kind of confirmed Shazam 2 as well. That wasn't really in the wee videos we were watching.
No, I never saw that.
Of November 4th, 2022.
Quite like Shazam.
Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
They were obviously going to do a second one.
Oh, Shazam was fucking great.
Yeah.
I loved that.
It was quite a fun
Shazam was
movie.
quite good. It was just it felt like a lower tier film for them for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
know what, like, it probably wasn't, but like, it felt like don't add this in with the DCEU stuff. This is
Yeah.
a side thing.
We
we're doing.
standalone thing.
Yeah.
But it worked out, I felt, a little better.
do you
Did it
know-
not sell? Did it not do really well,
I think
though?
it did do well.
Do you know there's a character in that film, an actor in that film who was in the greatest movie of all time? Oscar winner Demon Hunsu. I think that's how you say his name. He was
Demon.
Sean Roca and Never Back Down.
Was he? Hey.
Yeah, and do you know that in Aquaman?
Hugh, do you know what you need to do? You'll never back down from not realising that Never Back Down is not the greatest movie of all time.
You know what
I
you
think
need to
you're
do,
fine.
Dom, is cut this bit out.
I think you'll find that it's the greatest film of all time. It's a big DC thing with that film though. Like Hera is Amber Heard as well. She's in it.
I mean, comic book movies, you know, like 6 Degrees of Separation, you could play that with like any person and find them, you know, in some kind of comic book property these days. There are just so many comic book films.
In the Suicide Squad, the Polka Dot Man, I can't remember the guy's name. It's a big long name. He plays like one of the friends in Ant-Man. You know, the wee Russian friend, the hacker.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you were in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC one. Who are you? Oh, I was Polka Dot Man and Ant-Man's friend's friend. You're like,
It's a friend of a friend.
Okay.
And the last one that's like you guys probably wouldn't know was the Sandman Netflix.
Oh, right.
One
Nice.
it's should be coming out soon.
The Sandman's getting a Netflix show.
Yeah, because like they've been. I don't know if you've been seeing like Audibles from really pushing.
Yeah.
For like the Sandman version for that, so they're doing a Netflix adaptation of it.
I just ordered all of the Sandman graphic novels off Amazon as well.
I heard that is good. Like I don't know really much. I was like Sandman. Like I thought it was Marvel. I kept thinking that for ages. Going, I thought, what's even DC? What the fuck? I was so confused.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman wrote that, and Lucifer. They're all in the same universe.
Yeah,
I've read Lucifer, which is really, really good.
Yeah,
and it's all crazy metaphysical stuff.
Yeah.
Like Sandman's the guy that puts you to sleep, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, like, and then there's deaths in it, and Lucifer's in it, and God's
Here
in
we're
it.
vibing here. Like,
No, I'm not singing it.
I'm stopping.
Exit light. Sorry.
If I wanted to go to sleep, I'd watch you play FIFA.
and I'd put on Broly.
You can't go to sleep with that film. There's a lot of screaming in it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Sinead's actually like, that was very loud last night. I was like, I know, I put it up.
No, she was like, no, it was you. You were screaming along with it. She was like,
There's actually a point where the character of Broly stopped speaking. I think it was like 25 minutes into the film.
Yeah,
and then
and then it just screams.
It just screams after that.
Yeah.
Imagine he got his script and it's like just A's, and he's like, someone fucked this up. Someone's falling asleep on the typewriter or the computer. You know what I mean? It's like, no, let's just do that.
Shit.
That'll be $17,000.
Yeah, another reason it's a terrible movie.
It's a great movie. Like The Last Jedi.
Oh shit.
Jason's not bundling his way in there.
So, question for you guys: did you see about Cyberpunk 2077 and the DLC? There was a wee tweet the other day. Someone asked if they're going to offer free DLC like The Witcher does.
Yeah.
And they were very happy to say yes. You know.
Yeah. Did he not have a gif of the Kool-Aid man from
Yeah.
Family Guy busting
yeah.
I really cracked him up.
Yeah.
I'm happy like, companies will actually make DLC free for you. Like, we were talking about GTA doing that, Rockstar, adding free content for people so they continue playing the game. But with Cyberpunk, I'm happy that they're doing that to like.
The thing is though, like the Witcher 3 had the 16 free DLCs, but 16 free ones, but it was things like alternate looks for Triss and stuff like that, and armor. There was a couple ones that were actual missions and contracts and stuff like that, Witcher contracts, but they're mostly kind of cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of reworking some things, and then they also had 2 actual paid DLCs that were the ones that added, missions like 30 hours each or something like that. So I imagine Cyberpunk's going to do the same thing. Like, I think that these free DLCs that they're referencing will be mostly cosmetic things.
Yeah.
And they will probably have actual like content DLC as well that you would pay for, which I have no problem with because I think it's going to be great. I think I've mentioned that on this podcast before, that I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, and rightly so. And I mean, like, you can only put up with so much. Like, a lot of people just want this terrible year to end, and I can understand. They're just like, I'm fucking fed up with all this misery. Give me something good, and they're just like, oh, we'll just like a wee bit longer. Guys. Like, fucking.
And then Tony Hawk's coming out.
And
that's it.
Like,
you're like, wait.
That's it. That's what we need.
Yeah, looking forward to that as well. Yeah. There's actually there's quite a few cool things happening at the end of the year. The Boys season 2 is out soon.
Yeah.
4th of September. I've not started watching it yet, but Lucifer season 5 is out now.
Yeah, I'm going to start watching that tomorrow.
I think it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, they got renewed. They got told this was their final season, and then they got renewed for another season.
Yeah, season 6.
And you're like, why?
Why would you turn around and say, that's so bizarre? No, I know. That. Weird.
But I watched that, and then obviously Tony Hawk's, as you say, and then Cyberpunk. There's some the new consoles, of course, as well. There's some good things to hold on to until the end of the year.
But with COVID, no one's going to be able to afford the new consoles for like £500 each.
But there's more reasons to get a PlayStation than there is to get an Xbox as well. If you're a Ubisoft fan.
Oh.
Yeah, so it turns out that if you just for the UK, it seems like that Ubisoft are ditching physical game discs for the Xbox collection of Valhalla for Assassin's Creed. So see the £200 version of it for the Xbox.
Yeah.
If you get it for that, you don't get a physical game. You just get a code.
That's so strange.
They must have like a list of things like let's get really fucking shitty here.
Yeah.
Like let's add let's be crossing off these shitty things we can do this year. Like, see how many we can add in.
But you can get a physical copy for the PlayStation version, which is even more bizarre. It wasn't even like taken away from both versions. It's just like, nah, we'll just take away from the Xbox.
Has there been any reasoning why they would do that?
They've not came out and said the reason why.
I just told you the shit list reason.
Well, it's just Ubisoft being Ubisoft.
Every year they get all of their employees to write down just something really shitty on a bit of paper, and then they, every month or so they just pull one out of a hat. What are we doing now?
Like, so you're going to pay £200 for a special edition that doesn't even come with the game?
Yeah.
Just a code for the game.
I mean, the PlayStation exclusives are getting out of hand now, where they're actually, they're getting exclusive with games that come in the boxes instead of codes.
I mean, anyway, Ubisoft's a trash heap of a company.
Yeah,
anyway, but
they can go fuck themselves after the last.
All of the sexual harassment and assault and drugging and stuff like that went on in that company.
But then
Hamish is like, sounds like a company I might work for.
But then it's like the case of like if it's Sony are like pushing their weight about trying to get like just physical copies in there for sale purposes. Kind of shitty for Sony to do that. But at the same time, it's a decision at the end of the day by Ubi to be like, okay, we're charging you £180 for a physical, like I think it's a statue in that, I don't even know if like much of those collector items do actually.
They just repainted the statue from Origins.
Yeah. Is that what they did then?
No,
it sounds like
no.
Okay, that's
the ones that they never sold.
I was going to go with it, man.
I honestly thought you believed me. I was like, no.
You know what? As well, I bet you when they do give a reason, it'll be something like, "Oh, we're just being environmentally friendly." It costs a lot of.
We French guys, we are environmentalists.
Here's a big fucking plastic statue.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the plastic discs, they're obviously more wasteful,
I know.
They degrade over time, really.
I don't think I'll buy it. I'm not going to buy it. Like, fuck that shit.
Wow, that's unexpected, Hugh.
Really? I'm not buying an Ubisoft.
Here's the thing. Why would you buy the same game again? I know you're just going to say you're going to buy FIFA, and yes, I am. But it's
the same old song and dance.
I know, but I can play FIFA in like 20 minutes and be fine. But like Ubisoft games are like 100 hours each.
Yeah.
It's redonkulous.
Yeah, but you don't play them like every night. FIFA, you would play every night.
I don't play it every night. Also,
what I mean? No,
I also play it with people.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got friends.
That was.
I got friends
in low places.
Yeah, when Ross and I started playing Odyssey.
Don't you mean him and Ross?
That was our main comment. Like, this would be so cool if we could play it co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, why haven't they not put that in yet? But
they'll put it in next year's one and make you pay extra for it. Yeah. That's on the list. That's on the shit list, Hamish.
Yeah. They'll let you buy it, but they'll take away your controller. And you're like, what the fuck?
Next year, Yves Guillemot gets to just come out to your house and hit you with his dick and go home.
It'll smell like a baguette.
It's like a baguette.
Right, I feel like it's coming to a natural conclusion of the podcast, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about that isn't, bread-like penis.
I'm looking forward to playing Flight Simulator.
I
downloaded it onto PC and I booted it up. It took 120 gigs.
Nice.
I booted it up.
I mean, it's got like every airport in the world.
Yeah, so I started at Glasgow Airport and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to fly. Then I was like, how do I control this? I looked at the instructions. I was like, no.
Is it not a simple way?
Oh, I think there must be, but like if you're playing through the Xbox, or the PC, you do need to have an Xbox controller. So I was trying to use my PlayStation one for it.
Mate, you just need to put the flaps up.
My flaps.
You need to put the phalange.
Get a joystick, mate.
Aye.
Do
it properly.
Yeah, legit.
It does look. It's a lot of fun. Like looking out for it. I was like, this looks good, but I was like, how do you start the engine? Control decimal point? What? Numpad? What? I was looking at it going like, nah, this is... Get a joystick and you can just click some buttons and go fly.
I think it is kind of made more for the hardcore people that like only play flight simulators and stuff like that.
Definitely.
I'd like to just fly over my house and see like, oh, there's my house.
Yeah, that's what I was really planning just to do that, like fly from Glasgow and try like head for the west coast and up north and
fly over my ex's house, just spit out the plane.
just crash in.
Crash at the house.
Crash simulator.
I was going to download it, but then I realised my PC would just give up and probably go on fire.
You can get it on your Xbox. You can.
Can you actually get it on Xbox?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Game Pass for Windows.
Is it only just Game Pass? I thought you could get it on it.
But we'll see. When it was first announced, I think I remember hearing it was Xbox and PC, but then I've seen people playing it. Like Lemmy was playing it the other day.
Yeah, that's how I downloaded it, because I was like, he was like, had a good time
on the PC, and then I thought, like, I've not actually seen it on the Game Pass app on the Xbox, so I don't know if you can get it on the Xbox.
Do you know? See, now you're saying that now, because like I did see Battletoads, and I didn't actually see that show up in the.
But I think it would be doable on the Xbox. I don't see why not. Maybe on the Series X. Maybe
they are waiting for that, because they probably have a simpler mode for like the controls where you can just like hit A to accelerate and turn with the joysticks.
Even then, you can put a keyboard into your Xbox, can't you? I think.
Yeah, actually, you can do it for that as well. Yeah. I'm gonna try to like have a couple of hours into that and see how I do. Try to do some streaming with you, maybe, if we can finish Streets of Rage 4.
Oh, we've been trying to do that for months.
Yeah, we just keep going. We'll do it one day, and then
now it's Streets of Age.
Oh. Nice. What about you? What about you, Hugh?
What about you?
What about you? What about you, Hugh?
Hugh?
Hughie?
What am I looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to, mate?
Not a lot, to be honest.
Fuck's sake.
No, Tony Hawk's. The end. I'm looking forward to go back to the cinema.
Yeah.
A lot. I love the cinema. Lucifer season 5.
Probably get.
And then I'm putting away some time to read more comic books. I actually have been reading the new Lucifer comics. I've been talking about that. And I was reading more Batman as well, because like
the hype and stuff.
Fucking Batman. I read Year One as well. Batman Year One. Like,
I've been hearing.
I could have talked about that earlier, but I'm not going to.
Read the Swamp Thing.
Why would I read your autobiography?
No, read
that hurt.
Read the
Is it the Alan Moore one?
Yeah, have you read that?
No, I haven't.
It's really good, man. It's really good.
But I'm trying to do more reading. I've been playing a lot. I'm like around screens all day.
Yeah.
And like people keep saying, "Oh, get a Kindle." I'm like, no, that's exactly what I want to get away from.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm trying to do more reading instead of playing games, but I can't find time to do either, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
you end up with probably, like sometimes I do, just stick on YouTube videos, and then you find weird stuff like a country guy that's playing like heavy metal music.
Yeah.
You know, like we all just put on like Duality there. It was just a country version.
That was pretty good though. Right. But see, when you get down that YouTube rabbit hole, man, some of the things that you find, like how to boil an egg with a light switch and stuff like that. You're like, what? I need to know.
I've got 20 minutes to kill. I can do that. How about you, Hamish, man? What are you looking forward to?
Just all the things I mentioned. Lucifer, Cyberpunk mostly, obviously. Tony Hawk's The Boys Season 2. Probably, I mean, where are we now? 20th? Maybe.
We're 20th.
And it's the 4th of September, isn't it? So I don't think it'll be out by the next time, but maybe on the next podcast after that, talk about that. I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
we'll have a good discussion about that.
Oh yeah, I'll be like binge watching that all the way through. They are releasing it all in one go, aren't they? They're not doing a fucking week by week.
I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, because the previous season was all at once, wasn't it? So they will be, I'm sure. Yeah, good. But yeah, and just just life in general. See what happens.
Yeah, hopefully all positive things.
Well, thanks very much, guys, for listening. Thanks, Hugh and Dom, for talking. I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
It's been a fucking hard time with you, man.
Jesus.
What a dick.
Yeah.
You gonna say bye to people, Hugh?
Probably.
You gonna say bye, Dom?
I will.
Alright, okay, that's great, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
See you next
We don't see them
time.
Ever. We don't see them ever.
Say bye to the patchlings, Hugh.
Bye, patchlings.
Oh yeah, patchlings. Bye, patchlings. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. We'll get you next time.
Now we can go back to hating each other.
Ah, thank God, man.
I think it was pretty clear that I hated you through that podcast too, mate.